You're listening to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Let's talk about Bangladesh and their chances in this 2023 Cricket World Cup. And their captain is Shakib Al Hasan. They haven't won a World Cup as yet. The squad that they've selected for this World Cup is as follows: Al Hasan, Rahim, Das, Hussain, Miraz, Hildroy, Taskin Ahmed, Rahman, Islam, Mahmoud, Naseem Ahmed, Hassan, Shakib, Tamin, and Mahmudullah. And that's the squad that Bangladesh have assembled for this World Cup in India. Bangladesh competing in their 7th Cricket World Cup. Their first one was back in 1999. And since then, Bangladesh have had some memorable wins and victories in World Cup cricket over the journey since 1999. Some of the memorable wins include defeating Pakistan by 62 runs in 1999. In 2007, that famous win in that World Cup, defeating India by 5 wickets. Also in 2007, defeating South Africa by 67 runs. 2011, the last time the World Cup was in India, defeating England by 2 wickets. 2015, defeating England by 15 runs in that famous win in Adelaide, which pretty much knocked out England in that World Cup. 2019, the last World Cup in England, defeating South Africa by 21 runs and the West Indies by 7 wickets. So they've had some memorable wins in World Cup history for them, Bangladesh, which many people remember. Coming into this World Cup this year with a new captain in one-day cricket, Shakib Al Hasan. He's been around for many years now. And they also come into this World Cup with a bit of disunity, a bit of lack of cohesion, and a bit of rumblings within the camp, which doesn't really help when you're going into a tournament like the World Cup for Bangladesh. That's what's happening to them at the moment. Recently at the Asia Cup, their form was a bit indifferent. They managed to reach the Super 4 stage of the Asia Cup, but they didn't qualify for the final, obviously. They managed to defeat India by 6 runs in the final of the Super 4 match of the Asia Cup, but that was pretty much when the 2 finalists were pretty much decided in India and Sri Lanka. So they had a bit of an indifferent Asia Cup in terms of their preparation leading into this World Cup. A lot of people have said that it may struggle in 2023 in this World Cup. They may struggle a little bit. They'll be definitely challenged and tested. So for Bangladesh, also they've picked a very heavy spin sort of attack in the squad. You've got the likes of Shakib Al Hasan himself, Mehdi Miraz, you've got Naseem Ahmed and Mahedi Hassan. Finger spinners, quite a very heavy spin attack. So Bangladesh relying on their spinners to be their greatest asset in this World Cup in terms of taking wickets in these conditions in India. A lot of people have said that they may struggle in this World Cup, and they're going to be definitely challenged and tested. But so it's important for Bangladesh in terms of Shakib Al Hasan, the captain, to rally the troops, to rally the team, and along with him being a senior player, and also with Mustafiqur Rahman. Him and Shakib Al Hasan have been a part of this Bangladesh team for many, many years. I think both of them played in the 2007 World Cup in the Caribbean. So they've been around for a very long time. It's very important for them as the senior players, to really rally the young group that Bangladesh have had in this World Cup squad. They've got some young players. So it's important for them, being the 2 senior players, to really lead from the front and lead by example. As we know with Bangladesh, if they perform well on their day, they can definitely win and cause some problems for the other teams in the tournament. But they do have their challenges. They do have some barriers that they need to overcome. And they'll be hoping that they can play their best cricket. It's not ideal leading into the World Cup. They had a bit of an indifferent Asia Cup. There's also some rumblings behind the scenes, which doesn't help either. So they've got to try and rectify all those stuff to try and play the best cricket they can possibly can in this World Cup. So it'll be interesting to see what Bangladesh can do. They've got some very exciting players. Shakib Al Hasan, we know what he's capable of. Mushfiqur Rahman's, reliable. They've got Mustafizur Rahman, who can bowl pretty well and take wickets. Liton Das can do well as well with the bat. So they've got some talented players in the squad, Bangladesh. It'll be interesting to see how they perform in this World Cup. Just to finish up about Bangladesh before we move on, going to be presented with many challenges in this World Cup. Be interesting to see how they overcome those challenges. Be interesting to see how they perform in this World Cup. And it'll be interesting to see what their players can do in terms of performances with bat and ball. The Dibbly Dobbly Podcast has you covered for the ICC Cricket World Cup for 2023. We will be providing previews, reviews of the tournament, plus live streams and watch-alongs of all Australia's ICC Cricket World Cup 2023 matches. Any selected matches throughout the tournament, semi-finals and final. Also, we will be providing match reviews of all Australia's ICC Cricket World Cup 2023 matches, plus semi-finals and final. Make sure you subscribe to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast YouTube channel so you don't miss out on all of our ICC Cricket World Cup 2023 coverage.